Thank you, Kevin. All right, tonight, a Democratic civil war is brewing just in time for the midterms. Finally, someone other than John Fetterman in the Democratic Party is now literally standing up to these radicals who now control the entire party. They have a chokehold on the party. It's not Chuck Schumer. It's not Hakeem Jeffries. They don't have the moral clarity or courage to do so. Or any of the cowards in leadership positions inside the Democratic Party. No, it's HBO host Bill Maher, who has enough sanity and has had enough of the insanity. Listen to this.
So many liberals themselves every time Trump puts gold on something in the Oval Office. Oh, it's historic. And the separation of powers isn't? Get your head out of here. I would vote for Sarah Palin before this.
Good for Bill Maher. He prefers Sarah Palin to a Democratic radical socialist communist, and he is not alone. James Carville now drawing a line in the sand himself. Take a look.
I am not going to be in the same party with Hassan Piker. I can tell you that right now. If he becomes a force in the Democratic Party, I'm out of here. I have no intention of ever being in the same political party with that guy.
Now, over at CBS, when the network's Margaret Brennan tried to downplay the rise of this radicalism, this socialism, well, former West Virginia Democratic Senator, old friend of the program, Joe Manchin, responded with 3 words: "Are you crazy?" Take a look.
Could you ever support a self-described socialist candidate?
No.
No way. My God, no.
And
even if they have some good ideas?
I support the good ideas, but how could you support some of the crazy stuff they're for? Have you seen their platform? They're for just dismantling everything that we know, whether it be the structure of government, Congress itself, or the Senate they want to get rid of. And then they start talking about all the crazy things. No police, no this, no this, no that. Are you crazy?
Now, the truth is, anyone who supports democratic radical socialism / communism is not well, including the socialist running for governor of Wisconsin. Take a look.
We will defeat Donald Trump and drive a stake through the heart of fascism.
Okay, to make matters worse, here's Democratic socialist Francesca Hong in a 2019 post. Quote, "I ate 2 bites of my kid's cheeseburger at a Culver's in Black River Falls and told them they ran out of ice cream. Mostly just wanted to leave because I was on the verge of an anxiety attack. Too many old white people who didn't think we spoke English." And these are her thoughts on Thanksgiving. Quote, "Cancel Thanksgiving. Should have done it in 1621. If it takes a worldwide pandemic for us to realize we should stop celebrating colonialism and the original super spreader event that killed indigenous people and women, so be it." She also feels offended by the Christmas spirit. Quote, "IT bro was working on our computer remotely. Change the background theme to snow and to Christmas trees. I feel slightly attacked." And don't even get Francesca started about Valentine's Day. Quote, "I miss working in a restaurant every day except on Valentine's Day. The worst of humanity comes out from folks celebrating on another day. Capitalism tells you how to show love." Keep in mind, Hong has also called for the government to seize the means of production, all while demanding that police be abolished, along with the U.S. Senate. Her comrade in Colorado, Mela Quiros, is running for Congress, now says there's plenty of room for everyone. The Democratic Socialist Party movement is a big tent movement, including communists, even, quote, capitalists. I wonder if she could name one of those. Take a look.
Are you a communist?
No, I'm not a communist.
How do you tackle the criticism that some members of the DSA, including half of the DSA leadership, seem to call themselves communist?
Yeah, well, some members of the Democratic Party are proudly proclaiming themselves as capitalists, and it's a big tent, right? But again, at the end of the day, it's up to the voters, right? Until a self-proclaimed communist actually wins an election, then it's just noise from the Republican Party.
Just so I'm very, very clear, Now, these DSA candidates are straight up communists, whether they want to admit it or not. They want to destroy everything about our great country, from our culture, our very way of life. And to top it all off, in Texas, someone just as extreme is now running for the U.S. Senate, and that's James Telefrico, cisgender himself. Might not be a card-carrying member of the DSA, but he sure does seem to love socialism. In fact, he now wants to ban private health insurance and create a single-payer system. Ask the people in Canada that flock to America for medical care. And he has, by the way, where everyone has equally bad coverage in Canada. Take a look.
Healthcare is a human right. It is not a privilege. I just, since we are in church, and because I said BS earlier, if you read our scriptures, if you read the New Testament, what does Jesus spend most of his time doing? It's not, well, you already know, okay. It's not preaching, it's not teaching, it is healing. Healing the sick. And in Matthew 25, Scripture says that's how we will be judged and how we will be saved, by healing the sick.
All right, this is a very clear warning to all of you watching tonight. If Democrats are nominating this far-left guy in Texas, the party has already been lost to the radical socialists / communists / DSA members. And by the way, a brewing civil war is a little, too late. So now if Democrats take control, your health insurance, your house, your business, your property, the police, our borders, capitalism, the military, the Supreme Court, the U.S. Senate, the presidency, checks and balances will all be in jeopardy. Even Kamala Harris wants to ban the Electoral College and pack the courts and give statehood to D.C. and Puerto Rico, but she doesn't seem to think too highly of the last administration. In fact, she failed to mention the Biden-Harris administration when asked about her top 3 most effective administrations. But now she wants a promotion. All right, thanks for watching. Check out my new podcast, Hanging Out with me, Sean Hannity. The big interviews, the debates you won't get anywhere else. Like and subscribe for new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday.